Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Wow, I am very excited to see so many people come out tonight. This is fantastic. I'm going to try to be loud enough so that the computer can hear me talk. I've never been told that I've been quiet in my life, so yeah, right. Thanks, Don. So just to we'll keep going here. So my name is Kenneth Bartlett, and I'm here to help present with our Camp Kickoff, Eberly Scout Reservation here in 2025 with Camp Conestoga and Camp Buck Run. We are starting our stride towards 100. So after 2024, both Conestoga and Buck Run are officially over 75 years old, and now we're working our way to a century. So that's going to start this year. So tonight we're going to talk about a variety of camp topics. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a general session in here, which you'll mostly hear me talk. And then we're going to split off into breakout rooms for Conestoga and for Buck Run. Conestoga will stay in here, and then Buck Run will come on down the hall with our administration, which I'm going to let Marcus introduce right now.
Very good.
Okay. First of all, again, I'm super excited. I'll mirror Kenny's comments. I'm very excited to see everybody here tonight. We're very excited about the amazing season we're going to have for 2025. And kind of at the helm, as usual for that, is our director, Paul Rock. I like to refer to him as the $6 million man because, we had the technology last year. We made him faster and better. But no,
Off the extra parts now.
Yeah. In all seriousness, we're very, very grateful to have him kind of fully back in the saddle for this year. I also want to introduce Nina Grun, who is going to be program director, and Josh Miller, who is going to be assistant program director on the Buck Run, or on the Conestoga side. And then, of course, Jennifer Bittner, who is going to be returning for the second year as program director for Buck Run. So there's a lot of information tonight. We promise to be good stewards of your time. If you've got questions, ask them. This is the time for that face-to-face interaction. If you've got, we try and capture all the feedback during the sessions during the year, and this is where we kind of roll out to you guys. This is what you told us. This is what we're doing to meet your needs. So again, thanks for coming out tonight, and I'm going to shut up.
Thank you, Marcus. So for the group portion of this, the main document that you're going to need is this. It's a little 2-page packet. It says general information and a certain A word that I will not say amongst people who primarily stay at Buck Run sometimes. So that's the kind of the one we're going to follow along here. There's also a certain word with hot soup things that with beans and meat I won't say also with the Buck Run folks as well. So first, a couple things we're going to cover. First, we're going to cover important dates for camp season. We're going to talk about information regarding camperships. We're going to talk about camp apparel orders and swim pre-testing. I'm going to bring Mary up here, who's our special guest, to talk about medical forms. We're going to talk about dietary accommodations, and we'll talk about leaders' guides and camp communications. And then the big thing I'll hit on in the end, which I'm sure Paul and Jennifer will be really grateful for, is, hey, we're hiring. So I want to talk first, for those of you attending Conestoga, just a couple important dates I want you to keep in mind. Camp deposits are due on March 7th. Your online apparel store opens, which I'll talk a little bit more detail, on April 2nd. And then final camp fees are due on May 2nd. And again, you don't have to take, like I said, notes. This sheet has that summarized. Buck Run, same thing. Everything with Buck Run is usually shifted about a week. So Buck Run final deposits are due on the 14th of March. The online apparel store goes live on April the 9th. And then final fees are due on May the 9th. Okay, so those are the important dates. Like I said, they are in your packet. We tried to kind of combine everything into one single form for everyone. A couple other dates I want to note up there is campership applications, which I'll give some detail on next. Yeah, they are due on April the 7th, and they're due by the end of the day to the Council Service Center. And then the other date I have up there is May 10th, up at Conestoga. We are doing, it's a council properties work day. It's a weekend opportunity where your units are able to come up and camp it free. We do service projects on Saturday. We do provide the units lunch. It's free for units to camp that weekend up at camp. We have projects for all ages. So it's Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA age. So we have projects for everyone. We'll have registration for that go out, probably usually about end of March, early April. So that's just an opportunity if anyone wants to do it. We have regular service hours, but also we do try to work in conservation service hours, which are sometimes they're needed for ranks and Scouts BSA. All right, camperships. As I said, campership applications, they are due on April 7th. We usually will review those applications and the decisions of those. They'll be made within a week of the due date, and then we'll send out a decision. Our campership program is designed to aid scouts who have a financial need in attending camp. Maybe there's financial constraints or there's challenges, outside challenges or unforeseen circumstances. Parents can apply for assistance to attend camp. All applications, just like tell this to everyone, make sure when you're filling out the applications for camperships, make sure they are filled out completely. Do not leave anything blank. Part of the bylaws of that committee is we're not allowed to assume that a number is 0 because it's blank. If it's 0, put 0. If you don't, just so we can have full information. They do have to be approved by the unit leader. There is a section in there, so make sure that you include that. And they do require a copy of income verification. Now, I say that because I don't mean you have to have a W-2. Not everyone has a W-2. Sometimes, their social security statements, just something to verify any level of income within the household. They have to take into account all factors so that we can make the best decisions, or so the committee can make the best decisions possible and help as many scouts as we can. Yes.
Is this open to out of council troops?
So typically in the past, it is not. It all depends on what is used. So if we go through our applications and we're able to award and there is some left, they have considered them in the past. So if you have it, it wouldn't hurt to turn them in. There is also, and this always gets lost, there's also special assistance for anyone who might be interested in attending Eagle Camp. Paul's going to talk a little bit about that in the Conestoga session, but essentially that's that session in the last week of camp where we offer Eagle required merit badges, a specific program for that. There is actually a special program that was provided with the council a few years ago. So we actually have a special campership program for that camp alone. The application was on the front table. So same thing, that campership form follows the same deadlines. And also, again, make sure you're filling out those applications completely. Any questions before I move on? Camp apparel orders, just like we've done in the past, we have an arrangement with our camp apparel supplier where we set up an online store with all of the camp apparel. This is basically to help us control our inventory so that everyone gets the sizes they want. We will still have stock at the trading post, but this is just to help guarantee. And we also sell a couple extra things on there that may not be available in the store. That link will be sent out ahead of the window opening, and it will be open for exactly 1 month. That's the dates that I gave you in the beginning. And then what will happen is once you place those orders, they'll be packed up at the company and then sent to camp, and then they'll be available for pickup at the camp's trading post during the your assigned week of camp. We do ask that just kind of to make it easy, a little easier, if you can order as a group, that is preferred. But we do understand that sometimes there's situations where, someone didn't get it in time, you already submitted the order. They can submit them as individuals if need be.
Teddy, we do ask though, if you have to do an individual order, please make sure they put the troop number in the week. Because they come in often in the name, and I have no idea what week you go to.
Yeah, so and usually the apparel company will ask for that, but sometimes it's helpful if they ask like any special information, just put that in there. Never hurts to double the information. So any question on the apparel orders before I go out? Yes.
What color are they?
So the design is gonna be, and some people have been to camp for, there was a shirt a while ago that was like a brown with the white lettering. It's going to feature our Cope Tower this year. I guess I can talk about this in the group session. So one of the things that we are doing over the next, we haven't determined the preset of years. How many of you have remember when camp used to do the patch series? So like the camp patches that would be, you could get 20. Well, when I started, it was 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. It was a series. We're trying to do something similar, but we want to make it so that scouts who participate in the series don't feel left out if they weren't there the year prior. So we're going to highlight our program areas over the next however many years we determine. This year, we're highlighting our Cope and climbing section. So we're going to feature the tower, which was constructed in the, I believe it's the 80s. And then we have our Cope course. So that's what the design is. I think it's like a Cope. I think Paul will probably, we have a picture in your session, or I don't know if we might be able to pull one up in the next session, but it's going to be a brown shirt, I think, with the white tower and then the year in the side and Conestoga underneath. Other questions for apparel? Yes. T-shirt. I can tell you from memory, T-shirts are typically like 12 to 15. I honestly, to be honest, just top of my memory, I don't know the sweatshirts, but there's going to be sweatshirts, long sleeve tees, hats.
Raincoats.
Well, that's for the. I don't know.
Laundry bag,
Yeah, laundry bags.
is there a towel or a blanket?
There was a towel and a blanket in the past. We're still finalizing the catalog with the company. But I know that T-shirts, which everyone is really the one they ask for, it's usually like the 12 to 15 range for the sizes.
Or if there's something that you would like to see included, let us know before you leave.
Yeah, we always take recommendations for for things, ideas to sell, because we do run out of ideas between us. Any other on apparel? Yes. Yes. Yeah, there will be two different order links, and the Buck Run apparel, we're still finalizing that design. But I know that it's going to be a feature of, there's going to be I think it's a lake and things like that. But yes, you will pick your Buck Run apparel up at their trading post when you arrive at camp. Any more on apparel? Okay. Swimming pre-testing. So everyone who's been to camp before knows that the day you check into camp starts with a C, chaos, right? Checking in is like when you finally get to your tent at the end of the night and the troop site is set up or the pack site is set up and all the kids are just hanging out, doing their thing, and you just breathe, right? One of the things that we have tried to promote over the last couple of years that helps alleviate that is pre-testing your swimming tests. So a couple things to keep in mind with this. First off, all tests have to be approved, monitored, and certified by a qualified lifeguard, per the standards of the BSA. So American Red Cross lifeguard. All tests have to be recorded on the designated swim test form, which is available in both leaders' guides and on both pages of the website. A new feature this year, we have made extreme efforts. All of our forms, 95% of our forms are fillable, and you don't have to handwrite them all anymore. So you have the ability to type in or whatever, and then have the lifeguard certify the paper. No more chicken scratch, anything like that. Forms are only valid if they are completed in this calendar year. Okay, so that's a BSA thing. And then just to keep in mind, the aquatics director does reserve the right to retest if there's a health or a safety concern. You can look at the suggestions I've heard in the past is local high schools will do this, local community pools when it starts to obviously get a little warmer. I wouldn't go swimming in an outside pool right now, but So those are some different options. This is not a requirement, but it is strongly encouraged. I can't tell you enough, for anybody who's done pre-testing, makes it so much easier. You don't have to do it on Sunday. You don't have to worry about making sure your kids all have their swimsuits and their towels. It's just, okay, get your buddy tags and back to whatever we're doing. So something we're trying to highlight this year.
Also, in regards to that, if you can please complete it, get it emailed to myself or Jennifer, because then we can have your buddy tags ready before you get there. Let's speed that up even.
Yes. Any questions on swim tests?
Every Sunday in March, I believe. Is it Sundays? Yeah. Yeah, in Mount Pleasant High School, you know, you can show up and take that if you're in the area. That's an additional, service, there's no cost associated with it, but, we got volunteers that are helping to run that thing to make it easier for you guys to, you don't have to line it up on your own. Fantastic. Thank you, Brendan.
Perfect. I see a question.
Be in or around South Field area, saying full opposite.
Okay,
You call their rec center, you send you a link, draft your $6.
okay.
Thank you.
So if I could ask a favor of the group here, because this was one of the things we were trying to think about. If you know of an opportunity where this might be doing this is possible, could you send it to Jennifer or Paul? I'll give you their contact information in the end, because that way we can kind of share. So, the help, because that was one thing we talked about, was having a general database might be helpful for people as well. So if you know of an opportunity, that would be really helpful. Anything else on swimming? All right, we're gonna dive right in. No, I'm just kidding. With our, I know, what? I'm gonna invite up one of my roommate for the last 5-6 years, our health officer, Mary, and she's gonna talk to you about medical forms.
Name's not Mary.
Shut up, it's one of me.
Okay, anyone staying on the property must have a completed medical form. If you're staying, anyone staying 72 hours or less, A and B. Okay? If you're staying from 72 hours to the rest of the week, you must have A, B, and C. Please do not put your medical forms in the sleeves. It takes up so much time. So please, you can, if you want to, you can come in and take them out of the sleeves, and then we'll just put them on a pile, and then you can take them with you to put them back in the sleeves. But we have to have the binder back to keep it on, on file for the week. Okay. Yes, only bring photocopies. Please do not bring the original. It ties everything up, and it just takes too much time. Only photocopies.
We love getting that phone call a week later. Hey, you still got my med forms? I would have your original. Yeah, these are just examples of sections of a health form that we have received that have not been properly filled out. It is very important that every single part of this is answered.
On the allergy part. In the past, kids would come to me with a bee sting. Oh, I'm allergic to bees. I'm allergic to bees. We pull their health form. There is nothing. Nothing is marked. Nothing is stated that this child is allergic to bees. So we have to get on the phone and call their parents to verify that, are they allergic to bees or anything else? So please, have that whole section filled out. And if there's anything that you need to know, put it on the line below. Okay, this section here completes for youth participations. Adults authorized to take youth from the events. That has to be filled out because we run across some custody battles. So we have to know who can take the kids off the property. Okay, is that understood? Please.
Keep in mind, right now, most of you are used to filling out 2 forms. You get this filled out and then you actually fill out a form for each camp. Our goal is if we get this all done correctly, it wipes out the other form completely because it's already on here.
Less forms to fill out.
We're
Yay!
trying to get it there.
Okay, this section right here, non-prescription medication administered
With these exceptions.
with these exceptions, okay. There's been a lot of confusions on that. Okay. You mark yes, that means that if they come in, we are authorized to give them over-the-counter medications. Okay,
So Mary, I got a headache. Can I have some ibuprofen?
I pull out their health form, check it. If it's marked yes, I'm authorized to give it to them. If it's marked no, I cannot even give them an aspirin.
What if it's blank?
Then we
It's assuming it's a no.
assume it's a no. Okay, so please, that's been misunderstood. If it's marked yes, we are allowed to give them over-the-counter medications. If it's marked no, we cannot give them anything. I mean, if it's really bad, we can possibly call the parents. Because we always pull their health forms to double check. Okay, examiner certification. This must be filled out. We get so many of them that aren't even, nothing is marked on, it. Nothing. Then sometimes it's marked halfway down, but there's no examiner's or physician's signature. That must be completed and a physician must authorize, the medical form. If it's not marked, they can't stay other than 72 hours.
Yeah,
And
that's,
also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just say, that section, the examiner certification, that is only on the Part C medical
Yes.
form.
If
So
you're-
that's there. And obviously, there's other examples of things that we don't have, where we find things aren't filled out. The biggest thing that we want to relay is just make sure that parents know they need to fill them out completely. And we've all been there the first day of camp, like, oh no, I need to fill it. We gotta make sure things are filled out, because at the end of the day, if we don't, it puts a delay in our ability to properly provide care. Because if we have to get parental consent or whatnot, so just please make sure that all forms are, the medical form specifically is filled out in its entirety.
Yes.
And on that section, we get these in all the time that have the office stamp on it. The office stamp is not a signature. It just tells us the location of that position. It still needs to be signed. Doesn't matter if they use a stamper that has a signature, I'll take that. But a lot of times we get them in, it's stamped with whatever medical center and there's no signature. Well, that doesn't mean anything to us. I mean, anybody gonna put that on there. We do need it signed. And the date.
Oh, yes.
Oh
yes.
my,
Oh, yes.
the date one cracks me up.
We ran into a local doctor in our area last year that instead of filling out Part C, printed their own page with the same basic information, but it looked different. Should I tell people?
Did they sign that form? That they,
I
not
believe
this,
so,
but
yeah.
that's fine, staple
Okay.
it to this because it's still the same information. Yeah,
Sometimes.
what,
My kid, I photocopied, so I never.
I want only photocopies. I do not
Yeah.
want an original form in my possession or Mary's because somebody's gonna call and ask for it. And in all honesty, if they leave camp, technically we could destroy them and you'll never get it back. But that's why we don't want them.
Yeah, we do give them back on Fridays. Okay? Yes.
Copy of everybody, which one's hard back and front, like I know Mary.
Yeah, they do need to have that attached to the.
Yeah, because.
That helps us out in the event we have to take that child to the hospital. They're gonna want that, because, I mean, our hospital in Somerset will not stop treatment because of it, but it does speed up the process.
That's it.
Run it.
Any other questions on medical forms?
Oh,
Go ahead.
Do we need this medical and health history record filled out then, or is that the second?
The extra form that we're trying to eliminate it. Well, I'm gonna shoot you out an email once we make sure everything is lined up. We are still in the process. Our goal this year was to start eliminating all this extra paperwork. And Buck Run, when you get to your section, you're gonna love it because Paul don't deal with multiple forms. So we merged them. So right now, don't worry about that as long as this one is filled out.
Two things. For those of us that hate doing anything on the computer,
Yep.
can you still make forms accessible to those of us that can't write script?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, thank you very much.
How am I gonna get them to you? You want me to get them snail mail?
How many express?
No, you know what, we'll have lunch. Regarding physical, and I got to this last year, and it feels more for adults, I'm sure, than kids. If you have a physician that's hesitant to put a signature on there for a health issue you have, it is acceptable for to put a notation in there, no heavy lifting, no walking over a certain distance. That will make it acceptable and you will get a pass to come again.
Whenever there's a section in the health form that they're supposed to list that.
Mhm.
Well, a doctor, Dawn's using as an example because he had a similar issue that I had. The only thing I left out, Dawn, I had mine filled out and then I had my collapse the next day.
You do everything right.
That's what I said.
Man plans, God laughs.
Yep.
Is there any other questions? Steve?
Fantastic.
Yay. As it should be. All right, next thing up is dietary accommodations, nothing major, just very similar to what we've done in the past. Individuals needing dietary accommodations should review camp's menu. They will be posted ahead of time or sent out ahead of time. We're in the process. We have to get a dietitian's approval on each of the menus before we can post them. So once that process is completed, we'll send those menus out. Any special needs as far as requests for dietary issues, they need to be submitted through the camp's online portal at least 2 weeks ahead of time. Those portal links are available on each of the camp's websites, and we'll have them going out in other communications as well. Probably once the menu goes out, you'll get communications on that link. All requests will be reviewed by the kitchen staff of that camp. And then accommodations, you'll be contacted to make accommodations. Just know that in the event that a need cannot be met, if it's too specific or something like that, it will be requested that the camper brings their food. But in that event, there is going to be a fee discount for that camper if they have to bring the entirety of their food for a week. But that'll be communicated once the dietary request has been reviewed.
And keep in mind, the link is identical. So Buck Run or Conestoga, whatever one you click on, it's the same link. So it goes into a general file and then our kitchen staff will separate it.
Any other questions on dietary? The other thing I put out, just leader's guide, camp communication. So all the materials that you received tonight have been uploaded to our website for each of the camp's pages, which you can reach at wfbsa.org/camping. If you need to reach out to the camp administration, whether it be questions, curiosities, recommendations, you want to talk to Paul for, a night, whatever. You can reach them. Their camp contact email is very simple. It's the camp name at gmail.com. So Camp Conestoga at Gmail for Paul, and Camp Buck Run at Gmail for Jennifer. Questions on communication? So one of the last things I have to talk about, I know, yay, is our employment needs. Yes, we are hiring if you haven't heard. So I'm going to highlight in your packet, there is a list that both camps need and whatnot. Both camp administrators can be able, we passed out, I think, copies of our staff application tonight. So just hitting it at Conestoga, they are in need of assistant rangers, minimum of 18. Cooks and the kitchen staff. Cooks are typically 18 plus. And then kitchen staff typically can be 16 or higher, it depends.
Also take in consideration if you have a cook that is under 18 in the culinary program in their high school, please submit the application and myself and Emily will review it. I think my 25 years of experience in the restaurant business will make sure that we're set to go.
We are also looking for trading post staff at Conestoga, aquatic staff at Conestoga, scoutcraft staff, and skilled trade staff at Conestoga.
A welder, mainly. I need someone that's a welder.
At Buck Run, we are looking for a camp director. So anyone interested, you know, if you got your summers off, it's an amazing time. Range director, so BB and archery, we do a BB and archery range there. We're looking for a trading post operator, and we are also looking for program instructors. How many of you in the room have ever served on camp staff, even if it was for? Okay. Best time, right? Working on camp is it's a life-changing thing. I can remember in 2008, I'm sorry, 2007, I was leaving camp and I told my mom and dad, I said, I'm gonna work here next year, and still here. So it is a life-changing opportunity. There are so many things to help develop and grow scouts. It is really something that you have to experience to really see it, but definitely encourage that. If you have questions, anyone, I'm sure will tell you about their experience. But if you are interested, reaching out to the camp administrators, and they can give you more details on the positions that I mentioned. Okay. Any questions about what I just covered? When are you getting off the stage? Anyone? Fantastic. Well, I'm going to turn it over to the camp. I'm going to turn it over to Paul and Jennifer because we're going to do a split here. And then I actually think there might be a couple other things someone wants to talk to you about. But thank you guys for your attention. And I look forward to seeing you around camp this summer.
So before anybody leaves, Mr. Pontherac would like to talk to you.
Unfortunately, they asked me to be the MC at the volunteer recognition dinner. And I told Kristen, I'll say, Kristen, these are boring. These are boring. I haven't been to them in years. And I don't know if I can do this. And Kristen, being the professional that she is, turned it around on me and said, all right, you're the target audience. What does everybody like? Free stuff. If you like mugs, if you like patches, if you like knives, if you want a 1977 Jamboree belt buckle, you don't have one. If you like mugs, bolo ties for the 1986 Noack thing, you want to come to the volunteer recognition dinner on March 26th of 2025, Wednesday. We present the Silver Beaver, which is the Volunteer Recognition Award. Tom Price Productions will have a 9-minute, no longer 75th anniversary film. And the price this year is only $20. That's a low price. Last year it was $33. What's gone down in price the last year? You tell me. $20 is what's going to get you in the door at the volunteer recognition dinner. It is in Murraysville, conveniently located right off of the Turnpike and Route 22. It's in Bushy Run this year. It's a Wednesday night. What did I forget? New logo, new things. I apologize for the way I'm dressed. I didn't know I was going to be doing this tonight. You know how that goes. You're voluntold. If you remember Father Dave Salter or Dave Slusarek, Paul Rock's predecessor, he is now a Catholic priest at Mother of Sorrows, where the volunteer recognition dinner is going to be. He will be providing our prayer via video. He will be out there. We're going to get in there. So new logo, Silver Beaver. Deadline for nominations for the Silver Beaver is the end of the month. So if you know someone you want to nominate, you want to do that. No walk-ins. It's $20 that you have to pay before, and March 14th is the deadline for that. What did I forget?
Veterans pins. Get your applications in for your veterans pins for your volunteers. It's for yourself, that's great, but even better, you've got somebody that's been in your unit for a long time that hasn't been recognized. Kenny, where are you? He stepped out for a second, but those veterans pins, the council, we want to recognize our volunteers for their tenure of service. So please submit those those, Paul Scout one, yep. We started this last year. We gave out a boatload of them. It's important to recognize people that have been here and are just mainstays of our program, and it helps to take those newer volunteers and let them see, hey, you know, the council really does value the people that make this program happen week in, week out.
Yeah, it is a celebration of the volunteers, and it's a chance for you to have some fun and fellowship that night for only $20, which is.
That's a low price.
If you have any questions, you can ask me, and you should have this package in your materials. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up is Jackie, our Scout Shop Manager. She's gonna discuss our new apparel.
All right, so we got a little bit of a late start last year, but we are happy to tell you that on our Facebook page and also our shop page, which I encourage you to go and connect yourself with, because my ticket has to do with communication. So the more you know, the further along I get in my ticket. So the website.
What do you have to do?
So the website is on the page. I will repost it tomorrow on both. And if you don't know, I have a little mascot. His name is Lucas, and you can see what he does on the daily. And he will keep you up to date of what's going on in the council, who's doing what, and what projects you can get involved with. For the apparel, those pictures on the paper that you are holding are actually incorrect. We spoke to our company that is making the apparel, and we got them to use the new Scouting America colors. So it's actually red and blue and a little bit of gray in the background, and they are beautiful. And we highly encourage you to go to this website and purchase them, because when you go to the council recognition dinner, if you're wearing it, you don't have to wear a uniform, because we are encouraging our council to stand out. So please take a look. We have long sleeves. We have long sleeve polos. We have regular t-shirts. We have everything you could possibly need. With the cold outside, we did do like a raincoat and a jacket. We have fleece and hoodies. So please take a look at it. Our colors are black and gray to go with the red and blue. So please, again, take a look. Even if you take a look, that's all we need, because we need you to be able to recognize what we are putting out there for our new face, for our council.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just want you to know I put her on the spot. Hey, scouts are always prepared. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share with both sides of the group before we split off?
I know my son, he's 21 now, but I told him when he graduated from high school, this is like one of the last times in his life that he could work at camp. He was out of the troop, he was away from scouting, but he loved camp. He loved being at camp. So all you people in the troops, if your kids just aged out, or if they're in college and they're coming home, encourage them, come back. I mean, truly, it's one of the last times in their life that they're gonna have a summer free, that they can come back to camp and have fun. So all you want the older ones,